two kinds of people who sit around figuring out how to kill somebody: psychopaths and mystery writers. He's the kind that pays better. So, back in 2019, I finally got around to watching the first season of Castle, the kind of the comedy crime procedural starring Nathan Fillion and Stana Katic. Now, I watched it through. I watched the first season, and I thought to myself, I enjoy this show. But then I somehow didn't continue watching it into 2020. I don't know. I had a lot of other shows at the time that I wanted to check out, so Castle just fell behind for a little bit. Well, finally saw season 2, and I missed this show. Once again, it's got a lot of the crime procedural stuff that I liked and stuff like Bones or House MD, but this one also inserts a little bit more comedy, and I do love it for that. So, for those who somehow don't know what Castle was about, it's basically Nathan Fillion stars as Richard Castle, an award-winning author who's kind of struggling with an idea for his next big series, when he is suddenly confronted by Detective Kate Beckett, played by Stana Katic, and he is confronted for the murder mainly because the first murder in the first episode is in the style of the victims in one of his books. He manages to prove himself innocent, but then over time begins to work with the homicide division of the NYPD in order to solve murders alongside Beckett. Now, with season 2, we've got Castle as a kind of main member of the team, and he's got a new book series coming out which is loosely based on Beckett called Nikki Heat, with a load of different books in his series called Heatwave. Now, apparently they have actually released these as actual books you can read, so maybe I'll try them out at some point. But season 2 mostly follows up with more of the stuff that we loved from the first series. Castle and Beckett working together, solving crimes and cases alongside a pretty good cast, including John Hurtis and Seamus Dever as Esposito and Ryan, Tamala Jones as a morticianer named Dr. Laney Parrish, the NYPD's Captain Roy Montgomery, played by Ruben Santiago Hudson, Castle's daughter Alexis, played by Molly C. Quinn, and his long-suffering mother Martha Rogers, played by Susan Sullivan, who can give as good as she can get. I gotta admit, one of my favourite scenes just from this particular season is in one of the cold opens, Castle is trying to teach Alexis poker. Just, as you do. And he's sitting with her at the table, they're learning poker, and then Martha just walks in and goes, Hello, my darlings. Oh, what's going on here? Dad's teaching me the limits of No Limit Texas Hold'em. I'm shocked. Shocked there's gambling going on here. Deal me in. Just like, yeah, that's exactly how I thought that would go, but I love it for it. Now, this time around, I think I've got a choice of 3 episodes or 3 storylines which would be my favourite. I don't know. I can't necessarily choose between which one. My first one would probably be episode 11, The Fifth Bullet, where they're trying to solve a murder that took place in an art gallery, but one of the witnesses to the crime that they find, who's played by former Buffy actor Mark Blucas, who had played Riley in Buffy, he shows up. He has supposedly witnessed the crime, only he's suffering from amnesia, and he can't seem to remember what's happened. Now, I won't reveal what actually happens in the episode, but this, along with my second choice pick, is I like it because of one particular moment. Now, he's got a girlfriend, or an ex-wife in the episode, who's played by future Arrowverse star Anne Dudek. And the second season took place in 2009 to 2010, just to let you know about that. And just at the end of the episode, he doesn't remember his ex-wife, he doesn't remember his dog, but he seems happy enough to see them. And Castle just asks, so can I just ask, are you two... And Beck's just like, no, don't ask that. And she's like, no, it's okay. To be honest, I don't really know. At this point, I like him, he likes me. That's good enough for now. As they walk out together, seemingly going to give things another chance, Esposito and the others are just talking to each other like, one of them has 15 years of baggage, marriage, divorce. The other one's on first date. How long do you think that'll last? That might be a long time. Why, Detective Beckett, I had no idea you were a romantic. I was asleep with a gun, but you didn't know that. What do you think, Castle? Maybe it's just the writer in me, but I'm hoping for a happy ending. Just, I love that. Just small moments like that are while on the show. My second choice for my favourite episode is probably episode 14, The Third Man, where Castle and Beckett are trying to solve a case while at the same time trying to kind of outdo each other with dates after Castle gets ranked as number 9 in the city's top 10 most eligible bachelors. They get dates to try and do each other out, but their dates end up getting together, and then just at the end of the episode, they just decide to go for burgers together because they had to go out the restaurant because of the case. They had to leave before they finished their entrees, and it's just like, Remy's is open all night. They've got those burgers. Oh, and those shakes. Oh, why not? And they just kind of compare how badly their dates had gone. Like, so, how was your date? She was kind of boring. Didn't talk much. Mr. July? Little self-absorbed. Looked it. Really? Yeah, you can tell. And just, I love kind of small comedy moments like that show the two don't always have to be at each other's throats or trying to one-up each other. Sometimes they can just go and have a good time. Now, the final one that I would say is probably a contender for my favourite story is the one two-part story they had in this season, episodes 17 and 18, Tick, 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 and Boom, where they're trying to go down the case of a serial killer who appears to have a fascination with Beckett and with Nikki Heat, as he is killing in certain patterns while leading them clues. And I will admit, I do love one moment in the second episode, Boom, where Castle tells her that he's sure the man isn't up where they think he is, and Kate actually does trust him. I mean, she admits that it's a ridiculous situation, but sometimes Castle's theories are correct. And you know what? I love that she trusts him, that sometimes his wild theories are just what they need. Once again, this particular season had a load of guest stars, with a couple of which who I did recognise. As I said, Mark Blucas turned up, who was a former Buffy actor. Beth Broderick from Sabrina the Teenage Witch turned up as a murder suspect, as did Ian Reese Kessler in the final episode. And they also had at least 5 future Arrowverse stars, including Candice Patton, David Ramsey, Tyler Hoechlin, Ann Dudek, and Rick Gonzalez. Plus, I know Matt Letcher shows up later on as well. So, yeah. Now, if I had one minor complaint, and well, I don't know if it continues later on in Castle's series, but the cold opens, I feel they could have been a little bit snappier. Basically, we'd be getting about 10 minutes into the episode, they'd be on the case, solving things, and then suddenly the titles would roll. It was just like, really? Now? It seems a bit late. But anyway, that's just me. I just feel like they could have just shown the murder victim being discovered and then rolled the title sequence. I know the title sequence only lasts about 10 seconds, but you know what? Could have just made it a little bit snappier. But you know what? Second season of Castle, I watched the first season, I loved it. Season 2, more of the great stuff that we loved. Anyway, plus I know it's over 10 years old now, but you know what? I still love it. So, season 2 of Castle, I give it a thumbs up. Anyway, the next big review I'm hoping to do is I just managed to get the DVD of Wonder Woman 1984. What do I think of that? Well, I'll let you know. I didn't actually end up seeing the film first time round, so once I've seen it through, I'll let you know. Anyway, until then, see ya.